Hey everyone, it's Flirty Friday. I'm Susanna, the date maven, and I'm really excited because last week I took the week off. It wasn't total vacation time. I was actually at the Matchmakers Alliance Professional Development Conference, and so I brought back lots of wonderful tips and tricks and trends from the dating industry that I can use to help you in your dating and relationship endeavors. So I don't want to actually talk about all that today because it's more important to me to talk on this Flirty Friday about this beautiful new wine bar that I am in. It's called Cana, and I am joined by Brock Mellinger, one of the partners who is responsible for bringing this wine bar to downtown Wichita, Kansas. So welcome, Brock, and thanks for being on Flirty Friday.
Thanks for coming. Happy to have you.
Well, this is my first time in the wine bar, and I gotta say my first impression was, when can I move in? Because it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about what was the seed of the idea for the bar. What's the backstory?
It's actually pretty funny, and being on social media, I think a lot of times we maybe sometimes forget there's people on the other side. And I was working for a distributor, and Lauren, who owns HPLA, women's boutique store right next door to us, she had made a comment about liking champagne. And so I brought her a bottle, and she said, "Oh, you should see this space next door and make a cool wine bar."
So just an offhanded comment.
Yeah. And 7 months later, Cana's here.
So you never know what your flip little comments might lead to.
So just remember, there's people on the other side, and make those connections, and things happen.
And when he says here, by the way, we're on South Broadway, about a block south of Douglas?
Yep, block and a half, 221 South Broadway.
Right. So, and just curious, where do people park when they come here? Because some people have the notion that there's no parking downtown. Let's bust that myth.
Yeah, so on the north side of the building, there's a parking lot that's owned by the people that own the building, and it's all free parking to us after hours. So when we're open, that parking lot is free for anybody to use, even if a sign says reserved for, it's open parking when we're open.
So don't be deterred by the reserved for
plenty of parking
sign. So let's kind of dive into the menu, because I was thumbing through. I'm a wine lover. Anyone who knows me knows that I like my wine. And you have an entire page dedicated to champagne, which Lauren had recommended, and sparkling wine. And then American whites, imported whites. Looks like the theme continues with the reds. So people can kind of choose the region that they like to support. And then there's a whole cocktail list as well. So give me some guidance. What would you say are some of the house favorites? If I was coming in for the first time, they're coming in for the first time, point us in the right direction here.
Cabernet is always a big hit here in the Midwest. So Matthias and Napa Cab that we have by the glass has been probably the most popular red wine. But you can branch out and have fun. We have a 2005 Faustino Gran Reserva, which is an older wine from Spain that's beautiful. And our bottle prices are very aggressive. So you can come here and enjoy a bottle for a great price.
You know, it occurred to me that given your location, well, first of all, it's the perfect first date spot. I'm just going to say that. If you have a first date coming up this weekend and you have not yet selected your venue, please allow me to suggest Cana. If you are going to see a show downtown, maybe at the Orpheum, which is right up the street, just a couple blocks north, 2 blocks north, or at the movie theater or Roxy's, this is a great first stop in that date night series.
Yeah, we don't have a kitchen at the moment, but we're a great spot before dinner or before an event, and then even afterwards. We've had a lot of people come in, have a drink before dinner, before an event, and then go to dinner, go to the event, and then come back for after drink.
How late are you open?
We're open until 2 a.m.
Oh, okay, so there you go. And one of the things that I noticed that made me want to pack my bags and move in was the decor feels really elegant and elevated, but not stuffy. Is that on purpose?
We wanted something that people could relax in, but not feel like, just homey. And actually, I let my wife do all the decor, and she knocked it out of the park.
She absolutely did. So yeah, I think Chrissy's panning around a little bit. I hope you can get the chandelier, because that's absolutely the centerpiece of the room. What about on the cocktail side of the menu? Can you tell me what are some of the cocktails that people are raving about?
We just released our fall cocktail list last Friday. The Coup de Foudre was on our previous cocktail list. It's the most popular cocktail that we have here. It was created by Becky Reynolds, who's lead bartender here. And we have just a lot of the drunken spice lattes, fun for a seasonal If you want to drink some pumpkin, then that's on the list as well.
Okay, so I want to ask people who are watching, I want a little input from the viewers here. Should we at the Date Maven have our Christmas party here? Yay or nay? Give us a thumbs up or just cast your vote for that, because I'm thinking it would be the perfect spot for our holiday party with the Date Maven. So speaking of, since it's Flirty Friday, I do owe you a couple of dating tips. And actually I thought this week what I would do, since the TEDx talk that I did a couple of weeks ago at Friends University is now edited and live and on the internet, I thought what I might do is give you just a couple of the highlights out of that talk, and then we will post the link so that if you want to watch the full talk, you can do that. I told lots of stories, first of all, and some of these stories are a little bit on the longish side, so I won't repeat them here. The stories about how I got into the love business and the dating business. Stories even from my childhood and from my college years, and I tried to change the names of any not so innocent persons who might have been involved in those stories. But one of the tips that I shared with the audience that day was to stop looking for love and do love, be love. This is about behavior, right? So in your relation, I'm gonna put you on the spot here.
Yeah.
In your relationship with your wife, like what would that mean to you two?
Yeah, like that. More action on my part.
well, both parties, right? It's about acts
Yes.
more than words, right?
Yep.
It's show, not just say. My second tip I shared was know that there's no one perfect partner out there. You know, people talk about the one or the soulmate or whatever. There are probably 500 perfect people for any one of us. And I'm using the word perfect really loosely, because none of us is. So just keeping in mind that if you're working down a checklist, just be a little more relaxed about the approach.
There's gonna be bumps with anyone.
Can I ask how you met your significant other?
We actually work together.
Oh, well there you go. I hear that a lot. People say they met at work. You're spending all that time in close proximity. It makes sense. The third tip I shared was to approach with compassion and show a little mercy, because we all a little crazy. And it kind of goes along with that thing of there being multiple appropriate partners for us. But yeah, just being really of a mindset of this may not be their best day, or there have been days when I have not put my best foot forward, and just being really understanding. Yeah. The fourth tip I shared was know that getting it right actually means sometimes getting it wrong, and being okay with that. There's no such thing in my mind as like a wasted date or a wasted relationship, or a circumstance that can't be redeemed by some kind of lesson, some kind of learning opportunity to come out of that. So, and I totally stole that from Mel Robbins, by the way, if you're a Mel Robbins fan.
You got 5 seconds.
Right, you know it. You know the 5-second rule. She's so inspiring, and she's so darn right. All right, my fifth tip was to make a commitment to learn from the hurts, the disappointments, those kind of moments. Because if you do make that commitment to grow as a result, then there really is never a misstep, truly. And then the sixth tip, this comes from my heart and from my experience, and I've really sought to walk this talk, and that is to be audacious and be brave, because that's just true in anything in life. I mean, true in business, right? You had to have some cojones to open a wine bar.
Yeah.
I had to have some cojones to do what I do.
Yep.
Probably smaller ones, because the female thing. But anyway, being brave. When I'm working with a lot of my clients, it's not that they don't have great personalities. It's not that they don't have good looks or good jobs, or they're smart, they're funny, they're sweet, whatever. But it's that component of courage.
Just taking that first step.
Yes.
Don't look at the mountain. Take the first step.
Just take the first step. You're right. So anyway, that was the last tip. And again, if you want to watch the whole TED Talk, I'm going to let you do it. I can't stand to watch myself, so it's on you now. I'm just going to put it out in the world, and trust me, I know that it's full of flaws, but it is what it is, and I'm okay with making some mistakes on the stage as well.
Teaching somebody something. Something will learn something, so it's worth it.
Let's hope so. All right, Brock, thanks so much for being on Flirty Friday. And, I think I'm going to hang out and have a drink here after we wrap up the show.
Please do.
All right. If people want to get a hold of you, if they have questions about Cana Wine Bar, how can they do that?
You can find us on Facebook or Instagram, Cana ICT. You can also reach us at drinkwineict@gmail.com.
I will remember that
That's
email
easy.
address.
Yeah.
That's pretty easy. And again, I'm Susanna, the Date Maven. If you want to stay in touch with me, you can follow the Date Maven on Facebook, also on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. I would love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm putting up new videos there all the time. That's probably the best place for us to connect. And then you can also reach out to me one-on-one, Susanna at thedatemaven.com. I'll see you next Friday. Mwah.